Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. It's Week 16 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Los Angeles Rams and the Miami Dolphins. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys had
right.
the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns, I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person, obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 12 carries, 60 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This defense for the Dolphins, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
It was an absolutely dominating shutdown performance for them because they shut down the run, they shut down the pass. I think at one point, the question was whether or not they could actually hold them to negative yardage for the entire game. That's how well they played. I don't know if those numbers can carry over to this one, but I do expect to play at a high level.
4th down now after a loss of 2.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he will find his man Ruggs. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
They'll run on first down. Singleton, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their second drive of the game. The partner just looking at... some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Jink. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
You call plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jenkins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered, because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at the 43. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And Charles, you think about this offense, it's kind of a tricky time of the season because you're 14-0, looking to see this one out to the end, but you start to run into situations where guys are getting a little banged up. Maybe could use some time sharing, some time on the bench just to rest. How do you approach the rest of this regular season?
I'm telling you, you don't ask the easy stuff, do you? I mean, you created a heck of a situation there, and actually you didn't create it. You presented it, and you're exactly right. It is tricky because your eye has to be on the ultimate prize, which is the Super Bowl. That's paramount. But at the same time, how much fun would it be to go down as one of the all-time great teams and join the 1972 Dolphins as the only undefeated team to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Watching that run takes me back to... A famous old coach once said, any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Check. Check it backer.
On 2nd down, Singleton. And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there. Each guy has his own assignment that allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Rams ready to go on offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing to start the drive. Jenkins. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player. but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's third down. They'll run a draw now with Akers. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for. One of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here comes the Rams punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same.
And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Henry Ruggs, his 11th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had to quote it back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes our score 17-0. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is...
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw. Jenkins. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Take it at the 37.
A great return there of 22 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Touchdown! Jalen Waddle ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins head on to their lead. First quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over.
Sanders on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Off play action. Jenkins. He'll buy some time. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Derek Brown in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot. When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Derek Brown in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. This is a nice little stretch he's putting together. Remember, 3 sacks last week.
And now he's off to the races in this game because he thinks, okay, that's the start of something big because he's in a zone. He's locked in. So offensively, you've got to occupy him. Maybe even run the ball at him as opposed to passing it so he can't just pin his ears back and rush the quarterback.
Pryor has it complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. To throw on 3rd down. Jenkins. Flushed out right. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On the handoff, it's Akers.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Akers.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, to me, there is no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Throwing on 1st down. Jenkins steps away. Shoves him away. Able to push his way through. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Man, defensive. That hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
They'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jenkins. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Brown able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And out come the Dolphins now. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points.
Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle standing alone with a new And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Derek Brown able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives exactly.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown Dolphins. Jalen Waddle on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
42 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Akers. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Derek Brown, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So no gain on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over.
Miami set to take over. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Cam Akers and the Rams offense ready to go back to work. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Take it just outside the 40. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Tua. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And this is caught. Touchdown. Henry Ruggs with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Jenkins over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And taken right on the 30. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. Yeah, he's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Get a look at this offense led by Cooper Kupp as they make their way back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. On the ground, it's Akers. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And it's the Jets who have the lead, with that one getting close to halftime. 3 touchdown passes there for Zach Wilson. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it's the visiting Washington football team who have the lead in that one. Antonio Gibson leading the charge on the ground. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting New England Patriots. Deshaun Watson leading the way with a couple of touchdown passes in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Taking it about the 1. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
You remember me? Let's go, baby. 35's the mic. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Slam. You been touching.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. A give to the fullback on the dive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
On first down, Blake. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here.
It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Got 6 yards down to the 13.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. And to give this time to the tailback. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to ball his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great effort there. Standing alone with a new NFL record 32nd touchdown. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage? Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. From the gun, Jenkins. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll have a Dolphins 1st down as good running gets him to about the 44. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
35's the mic. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Check 9, check 9. Back, back, back. Wide, get wide.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he's got room. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the 1st half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the 2nd half, that got done.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. L.A. readies for its next possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jenkins.
Open man is Komet, the tight end.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jenkins.
A throw left side taken in by Komet.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
They'll run on first down. It's Blake, and he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA. Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Second and 6.
Screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. 35's the mic. Watch the run, watch the run.
And to give this time to the tailback. And some nice running, going to get him down close to a first down at the Rams 20. Line. The Dolphins on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Rams have got it back. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it, They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Mike 35, Mike 35.
On second down now, Singleton. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
The Dolphins on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback.
And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Second and goal from the 1.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Wow, Bill. Check 31, check 31. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
And they'll run again.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Dolphins are moving closer to a 15-0 record as they extend their lead here. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
On 1st and 10, Jenkins.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
from the shotgun. Here's a give to Akers. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. On third down, Jenkins. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And it's fielded at the 34. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 2. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead. You give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
On first down, Blake. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Sanders on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and a long run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. L.A. set to take over again on offense. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. They'll roll him out right, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Derek Brown, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. but really this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you use the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable here from the 38.
13 yards, the tally on the return there.
And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. Of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this. To make sure.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down, it's Mullins. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, it's Blake. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
108 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll run on 1st down. Singleton. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain. Of 6.
4 yards remain for second down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Miami,
they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year.
And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for L.A., it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.